I am here at the church programming lights for Sunday. It's relatively simple, but I'm gonna show you guys what I would do if I would start it from scratch. So the way Lightkey looks when you first start is something like this. You have nothing on your panel here for addressing. This is what it looks like. You just have to find whatever lights you have. So they have all these brands I've never even heard of. They have the big brands, and then, like I said, all these other brands I've never heard of. And so you just grab your light. Let's just go with a generic DMX Flex. Throw it into whatever channel you want. So here you see the channel. Then you can change how many LEDs it has, the channel count, blah blah blah, all that good stuff. I don't have that light, so I don't even know how to even patch it because I don't have this light. I just randomly pick one. So that's what it looks like, and then you hit patch, and then you'll see it in your other in your program edit view. So we have two universes right now. And the reason why we have two universes, to be honest, we probably could have got away with one. But I did two because it was just easier to separate the stage lights and our house lights. And also it gives us more flexibility. We also have other lights that are not connected anymore that used to be connected. So that's another reason why it is the way it is. So we're gonna go into our program, like our Sunday service, and so here, this is what it looked like last Sunday. Actually, it's not what it looked like last Sunday because this is on our teenagers setup. Actually, it's not. This is what it looked like last Sunday. The problem is the kids. So on Monday nights we have teenagers here, and so I allow them to do whatever they want, to be honest, and then I just come by and fix it. So if you see anything janky, it was because of them. So this is what it looked like last week on Sunday. This was song 1, song 2. You don't have to do it by song. You could do it a different way. You can do it if you want to be more flexible with the team. You could do a by section. Yeah, this is the kids messed this all up, but that's okay. We'll fix it. They're not kids. They're teenagers, but I guess they're kids. So this one that I have that's called test. This is what it's gonna look like in the future. Right now, this is just what I have, but I'm gonna make it more flexible for the team to do what they need to do. In person. So not in person, but sorry for my bad explanation. So I'm making this per light, right? And so whatever lights, like right here says movers on the floor, this will allow the lighting tech to have more flexibility with the lights. So instead of going through song 1, song 2, song 3, here they can just pick whatever they want and they'll be good. So I'll just show you what these things do. So in the service, on the fly, they can change their scenes instead of it just being what I programmed them to be. So I still have some work to do here. I'm not finished. I still have to do another one of our lights, and then also colors. So you can pick whatever, make them do whatever you want. Pick your gobo, blah blah blah, all that good stuff. And then you will have your color scenes here, and then also I have to put our main like pre-service countdown cue, message queue, and all that good stuff. That's gonna also go in there. So back to Sunday, I'm gonna show you guys at least how I do song 1, and we're gonna go from there. So all right, somebody's on Pro Presenter. I was gonna go on Pro Presenter to show you guys like the background, but I think somebody's on it. Let me see. Maybe not. So song 1, July 14. It's not the 14th. It's the 20th. Praise. So our background, if you can see it on this little screen here, our little multi-view. To my right, that is our song 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use all those colors. I'm going to use a little bit of blue, purple, a little bit of orange, and so we're just going to go for that. So here we go. Song 1. I'm going to hit the intro, then I'm going to go to edit. Technically I should have hit edit first, so go to edit, then you go back to your intro, you double click it, then here you can change what you're going to do to your lights. And so I'm just going to reset the whole thing. Actually, I'm just going to delete it because somebody was messing with it and it's not what it's supposed to be. So this worship preset here, where it says worship, this is just my main preset for the lights on stage. So it just says worship, and that's what we use for our main key lights for worship. I try not to be too dynamic with that because it just messes up with our cameras. Sometimes our pastor wants us to do a silhouette and I'll implement that, but for the most part, I just keep it even washed throughout the stage. And so yeah, moving on back to our thing. So here I have this thing just called random lights, and this is where I put all the random stuff for certain songs, just because it's just easier at the moment. I don't program by song. We could, but I don't, just because I'm always changing things. So we're gonna go to these lights here. We're just gonna highlight all of them. Then we're gonna go to design, bring up our design. So bring up our dimmer, I should say, and then I'm gonna go to color effects, add color effect, and I'm gonna pick something that I like. So you know what, we'll go with this butterfly. Let me see what confetti looks like. Yeah, we'll go with butterfly. Hit add anyway. It wants to tell us the selected effect looks best for LED strips with 12 or more pixels. It's fine. It still works with our lights, so we're gonna go for it. And so now what we need to do is I want to put a light blue in there. And you see how it looks weird? This is some pro tips here. It doesn't look like the blue that I just picked, and it's because this other arrow is not where it's supposed to be. It's not that it's not where it's supposed to be. That's just how you can get different colors if you wanted to. Like, say you wanted a blue or like a lighter blue or a lighter teal, then you can do that. Or if you want darker as well, you can move the other side and it'll make them darker. Not really darker. I want to say dimmer. I think that's the correct way. Yeah, it's more dimmer on that side. So we're gonna go with blue. Let's go with purple. Same thing. We gotta change the purple, and then also we can go with like a weird orangey. So we're gonna go with, that's too orange for me. So this is an example. I'm gonna use this little saturation part, and I'm gonna change it to something more. Yes, something like that. I like that. I don't like this purple though. Let's go a little bit darker on the purple. Yes, there we go. And so also I want to change the no, that's fine. So this will be the intro of the song, and then we're going to go back to design, turn on our house lights. It says casa. I just called it house lights. And we're gonna make these for song 1. I'll say we make them purple. Song 2, I'm gonna make them. Well, you know what? Let's go with a lighter color, just because it's summertime. So we're gonna go with the lighter color, something like this. You probably can't see that on the camera, but we're gonna go with that there. And I just made it super bright, and I lost the color. Okay, there we go. So we're gonna go there, and that's gonna be all of them. Actually, this light here, where my mouse is, it's actually right above the projector, and our pastor doesn't like that. It, um, the pastor doesn't like that. It is shining the projector, like it brings the projector to life, and obviously we want the projector to disappear. So I just turned that one off. All the other ones are good to go. Sorry, I'm yawning. And then also we have our top lights here. We have 2 movers up there. The rest of them are stationary. We kind of just use this for for a stage wash. So you can really do any color up there, and I'm probably gonna do blue. No, because I think the next song is blue too. Let's just go with a dark blue, because there's also dark blue in the color scheme here. So we're gonna do dark blue. Then we're gonna go to our movers. I'm gonna just make them do the same thing. So I'm gonna select our movers. Gonna go to position effect. If you need to go rewind, please rewind. I just do this all the time, so once you do something all the time, it's just easy for you. So can you imagine, like, for example, I can't dance, so imagine me trying to dance for the first time. For somebody else, it's gonna be super easy, but for me, it's hard. And so that's just an example. And so we're gonna go to zoom. I want them to be, you know what, we're gonna just make them wide. So now they're wide. We have our washes up. We have our house lights up. And then the center lights down here, I have them on a different scene, or a different preset, I should say, just because that's just the way I did it when I got the lights. And so now I just grab the preset that I need. I'm gonna show you what that looks like. The presets, sheds movers, that's what they are. They're sheds. They're like $400 for 475 watts, and so they were decent. And so yeah, I just grabbed that and put it here, but I'm not gonna do that right now. So now we're gonna go back to random. Let me close this. Random lights, and then we're gonna add this, because you see how everything on here is blue. That means that nothing is saved, and that these are like the parameters, I should say, that you put on it, the dimmers and all the effects and all that good stuff. But it hasn't been saved yet. So once you save it, you go to this little plus sign on the on the right side, top right. Put that in there. Then I'm gonna grab it and I'm gonna put it into my preset. Now our preset, since I already have this straight searchlight, it should work. If not, I probably have to put like dimmers on them or something. Okay, yeah, so they're not on. So we're gonna go back into our edit those lights, and you know what? I'm not gonna edit that, because I'm not gonna edit that. That's my main effect. If I edit that, then it's gonna mess up all of them. So we're just gonna go back here and add the dimmer on this side. So we're gonna add the dimmer, and these lights, since they're from China, it's a little weird. I have to go to strobe, and I have to put the strobe at 4 hertz for them to stop strobing. They'll strobe on the screen, but in person they're not strobing anymore. If I turn it off, wow, that's embarrassing. Right now it's not strobing at all, but it's still strobing in the picture. So maybe it thinks something else. Okay, here we go. So I hit open, and now on the Lightkey it looks like it's not strobing, but then in person it's strobing. Broke my head for a couple hours the first day to try to figure that out. I was like, what is happening? It's like Francesco when he was getting beat by all the other cars, and then Mater comes out of nowhere and he says, what is happening? Anyway, Francesco and those open wheels. That is how I program for Sunday. I'm going to go ahead and program all of them. I just wanted to give you a video on how to start. So that's how I start. I'm just going to go through and do the same thing for all the songs. And yes, I do the same thing with all the songs. So, for example, I am so sorry I'm yawning again. For example, song two is a different color. Song two is gonna be blue and green. So then you can see it on the screen here. And then the next song is gonna be red because we're doing communion, and so we like to just keep everything, to make sense, right? Sometimes I don't like the backgrounds; they're a little cheesy, but this one's good. But there's some that I get that are a little cheesy. And if you want some free wins, Igniter has some great stuff. Sometimes some of theirs are corny too, but if you search, you'll find some good stuff. So yeah, thank you for being here with me, and I gotta program all of these other lights. The rest of the song, I should say. Yeah. So, but you know what? Let me show you what our pre-service looks like. There's our pre-service. I'm gonna turn the camera around so you can see what it does to the wall, so you can get these cool effects. Giving you some free gold right there. You can get some gobos and get some gobos and gobo lights and do that. That's what I like. Oh my god, what is wrong with me? That's what I like about Gobo's lights. I guess it's time to get coffee before I go to my staff meeting, which is in 11 minutes. So maybe I'm gonna have to program lights later. After the meeting. Anyway, thank you for being here with me. If you want to learn more about where to position your lights and stuff like that for your live stream, or just streams period, or for your church period, even if you don't live stream, people make a lot of mistakes when it comes to lighting. Like I said, for me it's comes easy because I've done it for about 12 years. I've learned so much about it, and I've worked in the industry, rental companies, doing big shows, casinos. I did the not sure if you know of the Barefoot event in Atlantic City, the beach concerts. That's like 200,000 people show up to that, something like that. And I might be way off. Maybe it's like 90,000. I don't know, but it's a lot of people that show up for that. And yeah, I've done shows like that, and so people are always telling me, even here, why don't you get a Grand AMA? I'm like, yeah, that's cool. But this works great, and it's easy for volunteers. Like, I guess people, I don't know what people think, but why you spend so much money on something that you could do the same or get close results with a way cheaper product? And it's digital, especially all these kids. All they want to do is stand in front of the screen, looking on YouTube videos or Instagram videos. So this is a good way for them to interact and be on a screen, and it's familiar to them. So, yeah. Anyway, like I was saying, reach out to me. I have a course that shows you about where to position your lights. It's specifically just where you position your lights. I'm going to do another one where I'll show you like different effects, what different lights do, but specifically this one that I have right now is just for you to know what lights to use and where to position them, because that's actually a very common issue that I see. So yeah.